Hi, everybody. This is the Football Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, the Hut. Holy shit. I said that the first game against the Cowboys would be bad, but I didn't think it would be even worse. Did the Giants know they had a game today? I don't think they knew they had a game today. Who were those guys that were on that playing for the Giants? This is a far cry from Eli Manning and Phil Simms and Mark Bavaro and Michael Strahan and what the hell? Holy George Young! What the hell? I mean, really? I mean, to give up 400,000 yards to the Cowboys today, um, among some of the things that they did. I mean, really, no. I mean, for a team that supposedly has a defensive-minded genius and Wink Martindale as the coordinator, you'd think they would have known you got to tackle guys. The Cowboys are the Giants' daddy. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I mean, just watching this game, Dak Prescott did not look at all rattled. His back was turned. He was pulling plays, behind, when they got to the line of scrimmage, his back was turned to the defense. I'd never seen that before. Maybe it's happened in games, but I'd never seen, a quarterback's back turned. I've never seen that before. Has anybody ever seen that before? I haven't. They didn't seem nervous about this game at all. Not one iota. I mean, this is a disaster. You had 1,700 pounds of an offensive line that were pretty much useless. I watched the Browns-Ravens game. And you talk about power in that game from the Browns' offensive line. It was incredible to watch it. But the Giants have no offensive line. I mean, 1,700 pounds of nothing. 1,700 pounds of mass. And those guys were completely, totally... Was there an offensive line there? Were they invisible? I know that Andrew Thomas, I mean, I know he got hurt. He got knocked down a little bit, but he came back in the game. But he pretty much was non-existent. I mean, and I know they have a third-string quarterback who's an undrafted free agent that they signed before training camp. But Jesus, man, I mean, this is about as bad of a game as I've ever seen. And it's funny, I went away from the game. I was put the game down and watch this. And I thought maybe the game was probably been over about 10 minutes. Because I have them in two rooms here. I had the game on. And this room where the TV is, the main TV in the hut, I'm like, I turned it off. So I went in the other room, and the game, I was like, the game's still on? The Giants were like at the field, right within the, into the red zone, and they were like getting close to, getting into the end zone. I will say this, that extra point, those extra 7 points made a big difference, folks. It wasn't 49-10, it was 49-17. So it wasn't a complete total blowout. Oh, my goodness. Now, they're so bad. I mean, they're 2-8 now. Right now, with the Cardinals having won with Kyler Murray coming back, the Giants now have the number 2 pick in the draft. So that means that they could draft a quarterback. And this team should start to look long and hard at rebuilding. And I'm not going to say that they should get rid of the coach. They should get rid of the general manager. I have trust in them. I think they did a great job last year to get that team in good shape. That was a very overrated team. It was a bit of a surprise. They made postseason last year. They had just a horrific schedule this year. And obviously they just probably weren't that good last year. So I'm not saying that I don't want the Giants to fire these guys. I think that the coach is a good coach. I think that the general manager did a good job in the draft this year. He did a good job last year. I think the general manager is very smart. And I think that the coach is very smart. I mean, they've been at good programs, obviously in Buffalo, and Brian Dable has been in Buffalo and also was in New England with Bill Belichick. Although Belichick's not looking so good without Brady, isn't that the case? He's not looking so hot. But you come from these big programs, you know how to run a team, you know how to do things. Right now, I mean, this is about, I mean, nothing has gone right this season. Nothing has gone right this season. And we don't have a quarterback now. We don't have the backup quarterback. Tommy DeVito is clearly, he's getting his feet wet. Who knows what kind of player he's going to be. But they need to find a quarterback now and just rebuild this situation. They have some defensive pieces. They probably should have been better off if they traded Saquon Barkley at the trade deadline. Now I would assume that Barkley will not be here next year. This is a team that needs to sort of look at itself in the mirror. And we know they've been firing and hiring coaches and firing general managers over the last 12 years. But now you're going to have to make a choice of building a team around a franchise quarterback. Either it be Drake May or what's his face, or Caleb Williams, and just sort of decide what you want to do. To me, they're both very good quarterbacks. I would probably go with Drake May if I have my choice, because obviously the program with Williams, they've been struggling. USC has been struggling really poorly. They've lost the last 4 games. That's not good. We don't want to see that with a guy that's won a Heisman Trophy, that he won last year, and to see them struggle as poorly as they have on this stretch that they've been on. But the Giants have to seriously consider moving on from Daniel Jones. Obviously, they got an out after next season. They could always play him next year, knowing that they'll have a big quarterback. And this is going to be tough. I mean, they got tough decisions to make, but sometimes you have no choice. This is a situation they have no choice. You don't want to go into next season and say, well, they need to do this, need to do that. Just break the whole thing down. And getting a big quarterback will help. It helped years ago when they drafted Eli Manning. And this will be a situation where they're going to have to be smart in terms of who they're going to draft. Which one they'll be able to draft. So I don't see any out here. I don't see a situation where the Giants win the rest of the season. I said this in the videos this past week. I don't see them winning another game. When you have that game against the Jets 2 weeks ago, and that game was there for the taking for the Giants. The defense played great, but 2/3 of the team is a mess. And that 2/3 of the team, now we have 3/3 of the team. All 3 areas of the team are a disaster. The special teams is bad. The offensive line is non-existent. We don't have a quarterback. And the defense is terrible. And they certainly can't defend against the Cowboys. Which, as you know, they are a division rival. I'm very uncomfortable doing this video because I was hoping to do videos about the Giants playing well, that they were going to be in it this year. I knew that this schedule was going to be really lousy. I thought they would be around 500 at this point, a few games under 500, maybe a game or 2 under 500. I really felt that they should have beaten the Seahawks. They got blown out, that they should have won that game. They should have won the Jets game. I mean, to go to 2-10, they could have been 4-6 right now. Those are the games that they needed to win. And in my view, going into the season, and obviously that didn't happen. And now we're at 2-8. I don't see them winning next week. I don't see them winning the rest of the season. We're going to get at least 10 losses at the very minimum, because they're going to be playing the Eagles the last few weeks of the season. One game of which is of course is on freaking Christmas. Is there going to be anybody at MetLife Stadium? I don't even know where they're playing. They play in the Giants Stadium, MetLife Stadium. I mean, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. That's all I got to say. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe, and I'll see you later.